fantasy baseball analytics. Welcome into all the fantasy baseball sharks. We're going to be going deep diving into starting pitching here. It's early in the morning, so I've got to kind of sneak in a quick one. I really don't have a plan. We're going to make it a working meeting. I got my coffee out. Let's get after some starting pitching. So, the best place to start, got our new stuff here. Let's do it. Let's do it right. Let's start at ADP, and I want to talk starting pitching. Some of the comments got me a little excited. Somebody mentioned that whip and slug are the only most important stats, and I like a little bit of that. One comment on the slug. So I'm listening to some advanced scouting now. A college baseball coach that came up through pitching, and he pointed out that when they're trying to improve pitching, they want to see pitchers get leverage, which is getting strikes in 0-0 and 1-1 counts. He also said he really looks at the slug. And so that comment from the community, really appreciate that. And so I dug deeper into the slug, and the reason he said is because it means reducing damage. And so we're gonna get back a little bit into slug and damage if I can get through some players. But I just kind of want to go ADP here and show you guys some of the searches that I'm doing because I think that everyone gets the raw stats, the raw data. But in a custom search, I can look at a little bit different piece of baseball all at once. So my thing is to just know what you're buying. And I've been going through, so I got my familiarity up and I'm trying to squeeze it down and serve it over to you guys. So maybe you don't have the time to look at pitching for so long, but I'm getting to a good point where I can just look at a guy's stuff and say, where is he at? So I did a kind of review. I would say one theme as I review these pitchers is there's some bad cutters. I feel like just adding some guys, hey, so and so, stop using that cutter. We're going to see Emmanuel Clase. Like, is your cutter broken? So there's some things going on with this. So Spencer Strider, we've looked at the stuff there. Do we look at Shohei's stuff, his pitching stuff? Let's just do Shohei because I'm so high on Shohei, such a unique player. Maybe he gets overlooked on the pitching side. And so in this TGFBI 15 team deep league, there's a weird utility. Eloy Jimenez is UT only. Marcelo Zuna is UT only. And because of this stink on them, on their ADP, them going in the 200s, they would be a nice compliment to an Otani, and you suffer with one of those two guys on your bench. Eloy, if healthy, has tremendous, tremendous pop, and I think that gets slept on. Same with those Zuna. So they would be a good piece to pair. So let me just see to get Otani's pitching. Just want to look at his stuff here and how. Let's see if his pitch tracking is going to come in first here. So here's Shohei. I guess one of the things too is what does a guy lead? Is a guy leading fastball, traditional fastball, off-speed offerings, and how is that fastball? As soon as somebody starts leading other stuff, they're probably getting a little cute. I think the health of the elbow, it's harder to maybe more wear and tear to throw the off-speed stuff than the fastballs. But here's Otani. Maybe he just likes being good. He's throwing the sweeper 36% whiff and he leads with it, and it's 1.42. So he's just going to go up and just pump sweepers, come back with the fastball for another 165. It's going great for a 27% whiff. So you could sit here. What is this? Shohei Otani, you're throwing a cutter with a 23% whiff that gave up 5 bombs. That's getting hit to 315. Why is he throwing this cutter? Both righties and lefties. I guess it's giving him a lefty option, but it's getting hit. I don't know. So that jumps out. And then the splitter can't be hit. The sinker, at least it controls bombs. Just throw the sinker instead of the cutter. Oh, he doesn't have it to lefties. So it's just a weird thing. They're saying bad cutter. It's almost like a novelty pitch that guys have to throw it 77. The chase is only 25 and the whiff is 30.8. So Joe has the good things that I like. I like the zone contact. What I notice in watching a lot of Shohei is that his off-speed stuff looks so devious that he would spit immediately. So it's not he's not as much a tunneling pitcher where is it the fastball, is it the splitter? Because he's not really pitching that way. He's not fastball splitter. He's sweeper fastball cutter. So this is what I mean about showing these guys. And so Shohei is a very good pitcher. There's gonna absolutely be gems. He's suppressing exit velocity and hard hit. Let's check that slug is pretty good. Suppresses batting average. Shohei's an ace. I mean, I really like him. I just don't have his stuff in the top tier. But what's the did I overlook the speed of the gas? I mean, this 97, 96, 8. So it's still upper top shelf fastball. The guys that are interesting here, Garrett Cole, who I bump out of here. Zach Wheeler, Kevin Gaussman. I see Cole. Damn, he's third, right? So it's got to all be there. Garrett, come on, Garrett's the only Cole I want to talk about. See, 33 years old. So Garrett Cole, I mean, we're really splitting hairs here in the top, but I think that's what you have to do. If I'm looking at this 15 teamer, at 100 picks, I've made 7 picks. So I've got to compare large swaths of guys. I'm going to get one guy, and everyone's going to go 30 picks later. So here's Garrett pitch tracking. I mean, this is with no windows up, so it takes it a little while to just dial it up for me. Maybe it's just having the fan graphs open. Come on up, Garrett. I see you. Let's see if we can get his versus plate. So 80. So for the first time, this is Garrett, very, very elite ace. Sub 80, 32 is over 30, whiffs up over. Okay. But well, last year, Garrett left the 80s and he just went down 2 ticks to just a 30% chase. And his whiff went down 8 points to 26% whiff. Now, I don't know if it was a hard year or what it is, but pitch, this is very subtle. And he's 33, not 30 or 32. He's still four seamer high. He's slider. He's locating everything. Knuckle curve. I mean, it looks like he's locating everything. This isn't living middle like Spencer Strider. He's up, getting called strikes. Can't believe they're not gonna win this pitcher. Just jamming on me. Anyways, you'll see a slight regression in Spencer and Garrett Cole's stuff, such that the whiffs are down just a little bit. And those little touches, those little movements, I don't know why it's not in you, but let's switch it up. So I think I wanted to zoom out with you guys. So here's when we're over here at pitching, we have this issue that we kind of have to resolve. Before I'm just getting a little bit, I can't just beat up on ADP. I gotta zoom out. For you guys here. All the pitching, let's go to advanced. Let's just see these FIPS. So Sonny Gray, why is Sonny Gray there? Kevin Gaussman, Justin Steele. Know what you're buying. Let's see if Steely's stuff goes for me. Justin Steele broke out, and it's weird because I had a share of him, so I loved it. It was like late free. He was on that championship squad with my boy. I was like, hey, Justin Steele. I saw flash to see 28, 6'2". I like prime of their life, prime athleticism. Give me the pitch track. There it is. So, but Justin Steele sits 91.8 on the fastball. And you have to know that going in, you're getting a little bit of a soft toss, right? His whiff is 20% on the fastball. The batting average is 275. What's happening? Why does this guy not? His zone contact is 84. Chase is 31. Okay, but the whiff is terrible at 23.8. Why in my model of an ace am I missing on Justin Steele? This is the problem. Logan Webb. Why am I? Logan Webb. Where's Logan Webb going this year? 60. Okay. Okay. You're gonna take Logan. And I mean, this is every year is Logan Webb. Where is he? So, why is my model missing on Justin Steele? Gonna give it to me. Well, that's loaded. Let's jump back over here. A couple more names. Justin Steele, Logan Webb. I mean, we know some of these guys throwing. I mean, our guys are there. Where does this not have advance? Here it is right here. The walks. So I'm gonna go to walks. Well, it's two being the line. So sub one, there he is. Okay, I go, maybe it's the walks, maybe it's the control, it's the 187 walks. A very interesting name pops up here, and it's George Kirby. Sub one walks. So this is another interesting arsenal to get into because Kirby's K per nine, K per BB at 20, it could blow up if he had more swing and miss, but it's being bumped up because he solo walks, but he's low Ks because he's only 8.2 in his K per nine. But again, doing really nice on the fifth. And I'm choosing fifth because I want the home run characteristics to be hung in there. So 27. Logan Webb, and part of this, just getting out in front, is like Logan Webb is throwing, he's leading changeup. And I think that's always dangerous, good changeup here. So he's throwing changeup at 87, 22.8% whiffs. What? The batting average 225 is good, but his sinker's getting hit to 313. It has no whiff. It's given up a little bit of bombs. It's 92.3. I mean, Logan Webb is a bit of a soft tosser. But why is he so good? Why is he so good? I can't. Why is my model missing him? Zone contact 88. Oh, he must be pitching to contact. No whiffs. Suppressing slug. Okay, there it is. No walks. So it's a control thing. So maybe I'm going to find it in walks. But we go over here and now to the pitchers, to the pitch result. We've done this for swinging strike. And I'm going to kind of do some dual action here. That's going to be swinging strike, but I'm going to grab it. I'm going to grab a date range. We're gonna grab like something in the second half here. One of my favorite ranges is a July 3rd. Let's get a big chunky 2 months. Like when I needed to make my fantasy playoffs. No, go ahead. I'll give them November. I'll go right to like, oh no. I want September here. Give me September, give me a Sunday in September. Right? Come to like the third. Okay. So this is a 2 month period at the end of last season. And this one like slicing up the data. Oh, great, that guy had a good first half of the season. Well, if you want to see how it didn't affect his numbers, cut that part of the data off and see how a guy finishes swinging strikes in the season. This is the type of stuff I like, right? 2 months of swinging strike. Spencer Strider, Freddie Proc, Luis Castillo, Blake Snell, Kyle Gibson, Max Scherzer. I mean, this is Scherzer's ADP. I won't even go to it. Is in like the 250s. I mean, I guess he's missing half the season. All right, so that makes more sense. Sandy's out. Zach Wheeler, Dylan Cease, Logan Williams. This Gavin Williams, this isn't, I mean, I'm not saying sleeper. You have to get some Gavin Williams late. I didn't own any Gavin Williams. How am I going to know that he did this for 2 months? But Gavin Williams is nice. I mean, he's 6'5". He's got a little bit of stuff on him. From Cleveland, who has a good pipeline for pitching prospects. You got to jump on that. Gavin's was better than, was as good as Gilbert and Cease and Arenado and Luzardo. So I'm like, JP Sears. What? I've never heard of this dude. Go to roster resource. I won't even jump over, but go to roster resource. And is listed as the number one pitcher for the A's. That I've never heard of. He's okay. Like gonna have to think about it late. Barely over, scoop all good late. Okay, so you're getting deep. You can see the distribution. There's a lot of guys with 100 strikes, but if you're really, these are guys who are getting after it. And it kind of shows, pretty pro, but much better. 40 whiffs better than average. 60 whiffs better than most of the middle of the pack. But Gavin Williams, Logan Gilbert, guys that were hot at the end of the year. I'm high here. Yeah, I'm high with my last glimpse at your stuff. But where are those other guys? So let's not look at swinging strike. Let's see called strike. Because strikes are what's going to move me through the game, right? A pitcher has to get strikes to get out. Strikes, strikes, strikes. Strikes are good. I want to see strikes. Called strikes. Chris Bassett, Kyle Hendricks, Logan Webb, 201 called strikes. So the soft tosser we know is Logan Webb is getting this done because he's getting called strikes. Aaron Nola. Look at these control guys. Miller, Urias. The strikeout guys aren't really here. Sort of another way of pitching. And I'm isolating these at first, but you can switch a foul. I see a lot of pitchers working, getting fouls, and then you need looking at how these combination and notice it's in the 200. So there's a lot of called strike. There's more foul than called strike. Look who shows up here. George Kirby, the guy who doesn't want to walk anybody, is getting lots of fouls. It's being fended off. But Luis Castillo has both. Luis Castillo has swing and miss, and he has foul. Logan Gilbert, Nolan, Severino, Logan Webb's getting fouls, a lot of them. And you start to see how these guys work. All right, well, let's combine them. Let's see who's getting fouls, called strikes, swinging strikes. And let's let you guys compete at that. I haven't looked at this, so that's why we might as well make it good for it. I was about to do it, so let's just do this part together because this is what I'm dealing with here. Oh, now we see why Aaron Nola is going to work, why he's ending games. Castillo, Bassett, Verlander, some guys that are heady. There's Logan Webb. There's Logan Gilbert. Now it's Strider. So, I mean, where's my pencil on Logan Gilbert? I mean, goodness, is this what did he like figure it out late? How low am I? I'm right here, right next to Kirby. Let's pay a little more attention. Let's pay a little more attention to Logan Gilbert. Some color coding yellow I had to learn. Blue became hot. Let me see if I moved anything. There's no more surprises up here, guys. Let me just show you guys. I moved down Corbin Carroll. I got off of it. I can't do no hitting at that part of the draft because does CJ what is his name? What is that? I can't believe I'm gonna get his name. CJ Abrams? No, I'm gonna get his name wrong. Let's open a new one here. A new one here on Washington. This little lead off. CJ. just, I just picture him. He's 6'2". So this isn't small speed. Who guess the player? CJ Abrams, 24, 23 years old. He poked out, 18 home runs. Is anybody interested in that? He took 37 bags. He's elite in bags. Is CJ Abrams not Corbin Carroll in the fourth? I mean, minus some average. This is like the fantasy speak. He had 18 and 47 with a low BABIP. They didn't strike out that much. It's a 60 future prospect who flashed a little bit of what we thought was developing power and a future 70 hit tool. I mean, CJ Abrams looked pretty nice for, people think, oh, he just runs, he doesn't have power. He's got a little bit of power. He's 6'2", 185. Maybe he just needs to fill out a little bit. So that's just something, we're just pivoting around. But let me get back. Let me get back to this search. So I was dabbling on my sheet. I want to know if you guys wanted to say anything else. The bad cutter, just a couple narratives I popped in on. Hunter Green, never an intangible. Hunter Green being praised for his professionalism as he comes in and tries to add two pitches because he's mostly fastball slider. And that's just stuff that's like sounds like he's a grinder. He's motivated. He's been in the lab, in the weight room, doing what he needs to do. Max Fried showed up on some things. There was somebody else who was getting some early season noise. That's probably one of them for right now. I'm gonna continue to hype Eli De La Cruz as he was caught working out with Juan Soto. So, all right, so you can see these different looks. Maybe I want to take out called strike, look at the guys that are a little bit more attacking the zone, the Kirby mode. Here we go. So Castillo, Strider, Logan Gilbert, man, I can't believe it. Zach Wheeler, Freddie Kirby, a lot of the guys we know, they're Steele. This is called plus swinging. These guys are moving games along. There's Gavin Williams right next to Pablo Lopez. Luis Severino, I'm gonna have to check in on his health. Zach Gallen, Tanner Bybee. Okay. I guess one of the other bits of late news was Shane Bieber going to drive line, trying to get some velo back. Shane Bieber was pretty elite when he started. Another one, Carlos Rodon, caught touching 97 here in bullpens. If Carlos Rodon is healthy, I'm all in. So that's just another way to dissect it that I think we had to get into. Where does ADP really sort of go off the rails, I guess? I'm very high on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Extremely high. Cy Young's, multiple Cy Youngs internationally, was nasty in the World Baseball Classic. I want that early, like over, man. If I fade on Pablo Lopez and I'm not ready to do the back and forth Luis Castillo, maybe Yamamoto's my one. That's how high I am. Glasnow's right there with him with a little bit of health concern. Devin Williams. I started looking at closers. Let's discuss these closers a little bit. Because after you look at starting pitchers and know what they have, here's some closers based on stuff. Stuff. I must have thought of something about Andres Munoz. As always, percentile rankings, it's deep, but it has to be looked at. And I guess this is where I can show you because we want to look at it from all inches. Let's go to suppress and slug. You see some closers up here, Hader, Chapman, Devin Williams. When I sort this is like it helps to look at everybody relatively, but I'm always glancing at this BB to whiff because this is K to BB right here, and it lets me know how a guy's working. So if I'm going to look at closers, I'm going to go to Hader, and I'm like, well, he walks guys. He obviously has a walk problem, but all this stuff is ridiculous. And you can see the stuff. Here's Devin Williams, same thing. He has a walk. He does walk guys, but his stuff is ridiculous, and we'll see that in the stuff. Munoz right there. This is why I like Tariq Skubal. He's not walking guys either. I mean, this is what tipped me to Tariq. And Tariq's stuff, because this is one that I did miss with you guys the other day. So I should get. I think I get open right from here. And, oh, I was like, whoa, Tariq, what are you doing here? What kind of control is this, Tariq? So Tariq, four seamer, changeup, slider. I like traditional mix. Tariq gained at his 94-mile-an-hour fastball. He got almost 2 ticks to 95.8. Said, I think I'll throw that. Thank you very much. 25% whiff rate on the fastball is very good to a 200 batting average. There's a lot coming out right now as Eno tries to locate it on vertical break, looking for pitches that look like they're lifting, rising fastballs. I'm not going into verticality right now, but Tariq can sit on the cheddar. Then the changeup, which be skeptical, 50% whiff rate, that can't. I feel like changeups have that good year. They have that blow up year, having a perfect change. He's got 11 miles an hour, almost 11 and a half of separation. He's getting 50% whiffs because the fastball is hard to hit. And so the changeup, there's nothing. They're stuck. Guys are stuck hitting sub 200. The slide piece, a 24% whiff rate, not great. A sinker, probably to control some damage, and he does have a curveball that he's throwing a little bit to righties. So there's Tyreek. Tyreek put it all together. 76, 33.5, 31.3. That's chunky. I went too fast. 76 zone contact, way under 80. 33% chase on that nasty changeup. And I think one of the commentators said, the changeup is the pitch. And it's being preferred over curveballs. And the whiff rate popped to 31. So look at the Reds. Tariq Skubal. I just got my ADP where I can't really get to it. Oh, put it in here. So 53, man, if you're going to go up and get something, I mean, I want Tariq Skubal over a soft toss or Logan Webb in my mind. There's Freddie Peralta sort of late. Here's Clase and here's Duran, and they're very close. And let me just Duran stuff is crazy. Will give you chills. Clase stuff looks broken on a bad cutter. But there's Duran, 6'5", 26, four seamers, high, tight, curveballs locating high, borderline low, splitty. The four seam fastball sat 1018. I've never seen such a thing. I mean, I don't know if this is like I wasn't a roll. This is stuff had already diminished. He's sitting 101.8, a 35.8 whiff on the Ched, getting touched to 213. And that so Skubal has a better XBA on the fastball, but Duran is getting 35% whiffs. The curve is plus plus at 45% whiffs, and it's even less hittable. Nothing's giving up bombs, and the splitty, using it to both sides just to mix it up. Gets hit a little bit, doesn't matter. Guy's unhittable. 73.7, 30, 35.2. So for a closer, you can see they can go even deeper into the archetype where he's unhittable in the zone with the Chet. You're pursuing him outside the zone, and the whiffs are significant. Johan Duran is dominant closer going here at 63. Dominant. And last year, Emmanuel Clase was here. Just take a look because, stuff changes. And that's why, what have you done for me recently with your stuff? Because here's Clase last year. Clase was this dude. He was no walks. He was Ks. He was I can't be it. Wait, why is he down? What happened to his stuff? "25 years old, 6'2". He's not as big as Duran. Certainly not as big. He's cutter. He's leading cutter all over the zone. Little low, little high. He's got a slide piece he can have for strikes. He's got a slide piece he can keep low. Well, for a guy who was 99.5 on his cutter, he lost half a tick to 99.1. He's getting a little more whiffs, but guys are figuring him out maybe a little bit. A batting average of 189, that's microscopic. But 267, you're starting to get touched a little bit. The slide piece, and here it's very subtle. The slide piece 2653 on the spin. 42% whiff. Very hard to hit. And this is still a very nasty slide piece, but he lost just about 70, 90 RPM, and that whiff came down from 42 plus plus to simply plus at 31. And we see a guy who backed off a little bit. The zone contact said, I'm going to get touched. Guys stopped 46.2 chase. Maybe a book came out. I mean, that chase is outrageous. Guys they just said stop chasing that thing. Stop going out there for that 30.8. And the whiff left the ace archetype. So he's not that tight with Durant. If you got close in here between Durant and Class A, it's Durant. So this is just I have to know what I'm getting. I have to know what I'm getting here. Grayson, Yuri, Lazardo, Regans. We've talked about a lot of these guys. All right, let's see who else is stuff while we're doing closers. So Devin Williams, Durant, Iglesias, Leclerc, Romano. Hellesley had stuff from last year. Hayter, Tanner Scott, David Bednar. These guys all had serious stuff. So I'm not concerned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These guys are closing. It's good stuff, but it's not great stuff. Diaz, Duvall, Clase, Phillips, Holmes and Kimbrell, Fairbanks, and I'm still sort of working through and placing these guys, watching some bullpens, moving guys around there. Who's another pitcher here? Let's see what Gavin Williams. Can Gavin Williams do it? There's my Gavin right here. What is Gavin Williams throwing? He got hot at the end of last year. 6'6", 24. Without watching him pitch much, I do know what the 6'6" frame is. So start with that. Four-seamer. Middle, borderline, a slider down, a curveball down all over the zone, and a change. 4-pitch mix. He sits 95.7 with the fastball on a 24% whiff rate. The batting average is okay. It's right there with Class A. Gave up a little bit of dingers, but look, the slide piece, 157. The curveball, 174 on the batting average, both getting above 30 whiffs, throwing them to both sides. He's got a change that he's working on. He's got to get some velo off of that. That's not enough separation from 95.7 to 88.2. That's a hard change that he's throwing there. Zone contact, 76.9, 26.6, the whiff, 27.8. So the whiffs aren't there, but the zone contact is very good. The fastball is good. The beginning of the mix is where you need it to be. Can he start locating this and getting some more swing and miss on the curveball? Maybe. Can the changeup come together? Maybe. It's a guy to think about late. It's not that the stuff is amazing, but I did see somebody who had some very, very good stuff on small metrics. Is his name DL? Let me see if I can just find him. Oh, they don't think that's a name there. Where is he? I think he's on. Okay. All right, let's go to right here. Let's go to my sheet. It's just gonna fade back. There was a name, JP Sears. There's another 2-letter name, DL Hall. Find me my player. There he is, DL Hall. Who is this guy? It's a no-name guy, 25 years old, 6'2". Four-seamer, slider, changeup. He lacks control, right? These random dots, I mean, he's just getting wild. He gets a little wild, but he's young. 95.6 on the fastball with a 30% whiff and a very, very hard 181. 181 batting average. That's a nice little fastball. If that holds, that's a nice piece. A slider and a change, and a curve he's working on obviously was wild. And the change has decent gap. I mean, getting some whiffs. I mean, this is a late guy. Obviously, the innings aren't going to be there, but look what we have here. 75 zone contact, 30 chase, 30 whiff, 92 extension. They're not going to show me the other stuff. He didn't pitch enough. 92 extension. The velo ticked down. He's got more velo in his back pocket as he starts getting off the mound. Who is this DL Hall? What is he doing? Where is DL Hall? Is he on Baltimore? I thought he was on the Pods for some reason. Maybe he's on Baltimore. I'll put you on there. Baltimore's starters. No, he's not on Baltimore. No, he's not. That's just his picture. It's the Pods. Anyways, DL Hall's a guy that's got to get looked at here. We'll find him. Let's just type his name in. We can't do it. We can't give up. He's a Brewer, I can't read. Should have known. But and there's another guy. So, the archetype, what was his prospect with his 70 fastball? Yeah. It's working. Slider curve. The change got a 60 grade. Can't wait till that catches up. This dude's a nice little pitcher. What was his minor leagues? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. K per 9. Double A, 13, 15, 13, 14, 12, 12. Comes up to the league. 10, 7, 1 K per 9. A 2.33 walks for a 3.26. This is nasty. Nasty got stuff. So there's another deep sleeper, but it's not, I'm not just gonna just say a random person's stuff and not look at their stuff. All right, so we were kind of going about that Class A Duran update, but what I wanted to do over here, I thought, and you don't want to count these numbers twice, right? A low walks, the OBP guys, because OBP is going to include walking, it's going to lead to bring up the guys who don't walk. Skubal, Eflin, Puck. And here I see a Max Fried. It was very, very good. Very good balance of walk to K. Suppressed OBP, suppressed slug. The stuff isn't perfect. Great ex-Volva. So I had to just get in here and just kind of nudge up Max Fried a little bit. Just nudge him up. Where is Fried going? Is he high in here? Tell me he's going late. Oh no. Okay. All right. He's going 62. I mean, if you got stuck there, there's no reason. I'm thinking probably more salary cap where people aren't gonna be, oh, Max Fried. He's amazing. All right, so here we go. So Fried kind of showed up. Brandon Woodruff, he's injured. Strong. Let's see. Bednar has both of it. Has really good stuff. Scherzer. Oh, Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan had a bad second half, but his stuff is there. I kind of want to give Joe Ryan a little bit of a pass. Rossell, Jarvie, but let's look at this slug. Suppressing damage. Some of these big closers. Devin, Clay Holmes, Munoz, Duran. Where's the first sort of starter? Tariq again. Shows up again. Jordan Hicks about to start. There's Fried. Oh, Leclerc. There's Cole Regans. Right, we've lost where the K to BB is, but I sense it's right here. Cole Regans. Pablo Lopez. It's got the balance. There's the KBB. Some control, but it's not perfect. It's not super flashy. Musgrove, surprise, surprise, is actually pretty good. I've got to come around. I've got to let the numbers speak to me. Because here's Strider down here. And I looked at some Striders late ERAs in the second half. Make me a little bit nervous. But let's see what else we have. ADP. I want to talk a little bit about Grayson Rodriguez. Let's see if we can get a search here. So let's get back to swinging strike. Let me show you how we're gonna carve this up. So we want to go string swing strike. Let's pull this date in a little bit. Let's let guys get over the holiday. Let's not go so deep into September. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Let's squeeze it down, get some swinging strike. Taking a fresh look. No results. What did I miss? Okay, oh, swinging pitch out. It's not gonna work. There were no swinging pitch outs. This is just the swinging strikes. All right, so Bailey Over really did that. I have to deal with that. There's Gavin Williams. He's right there. Kyle Gibson, Pablo Lopez, Kirby, this Grayson Rodriguez, Tanner Bybee. These guys that are going just a little bit later. Logan Gilbert. I've got this squeezed down pretty low, but then the attack zone that I might like to see. Let's go to the shadow. Well, I think my date's a little too tight. Let's go back. Let's actually go a little bit bigger. Right? Let's give him September. Let's give him the whole thing. Because I'm squeezing in the zone. I just want that shadow strike. I want the piffiest, whiffiest pitcher in the second half that I could find. Makes some sense, right? Blake Snell, Freddie, Luis Castillo, Cease, Gaussman. Last now. There's no surprises here as we get used to the names. Kyle Gibson. I mean, am I gonna have to deal with this? Let's deal with it now because he keeps coming up. I mean, Kyle Gibson. Oh, it's definitely gonna be the last name. Where is Kyle right now? Who is Kyle Gibson? 36-year-old, 6'6". Gosh, he's really finding it out late here, huh? How is he doing it? Sinker, sweeper, change. He's got all the pitches. Getting hit in the zone, chase, whiff. He's got nothing. He got hot. He's got some extension. It's too bad. I mean, he had a nice, so maybe there's some anomalies in there. Maybe I'm not going far enough into schedule for some of these guys, or maybe 86 whiffs in the shadow is not significant. Maybe these guys aren't working here. It's not enough of the picture. That's just your swing and miss. So let's add a little something in there. Let's get your calls in there. Let's see who's pumping the zone here. Man, we get our Logan Webbs back. Pablo Giolito getting signed by the Red Sox right now. New place. Gallon. All right, let's see him here. Gallon, big one. I should just be clicking on him. Gallon. Where is he? Zach Gallon, quite a locator. 28, okay, 6'2". Plate disc. Zone contact 85. 30 chase, 26 whiff. It would have to be grounders. He's not big here. The K to BB. See, look, he's got, here it is. Here he's got both. Yeah, he's getting hit, this stuff, but he's got the control. He shows up when we add in the called strikes. It's working 93.6. That's even down a little bit for him. The batting average is 237, so that's good. Not much whiffs. The curveball's working. The curveball's getting 40% whiffs. At 31 on the change. So, there we have Gallon working all around, four-seamer, knuckle curve, change. And you can kind of see he's locating. If he's got the four-seamer in four zones, I mean, basically got it all around. He got a little gap. Looks like he doesn't want to be middle right there. It's hard to see, but he's working all around. The knuckle curve is for strikes or is for a swing and miss. The changeup is very down. There's no random dots. He's not that low, he's not that high. He's holding it. The cutter is just painting shadow. The slider is never on the plate, and the sinker, he's dotting you for you just stared at a fastball. It's just that's what he's doing. The batting averages are suppressed when the whole mix works together. You're getting something a little bit different. We gotta look at Kirby here. Kirby, because I don't know what to do with Kirby. I mean, for the amount people are liking him, and I know I'm only talking about these top guys. Damn, 38. Kirby, 26, 6'4". Four seamers up, sinkers, two spots, slider, catching a lot of zone but keeping it down. Curveball, splitty down, change up. The control looks decent when he hits with some wildness. Okay. Okay. Four seamer, 95.3, up a tick to 96. Okay. A 28% whiff on the fastball, on the very good fastball, 234. What's weird here on the sinker, the slider, the curve, and the splitty even. The splitty is 149 for 35% whiff. That's his other pitch, but he's mostly throwing it against lefties and not giving it up to righties. The three other off-speed pitches don't get whiffs. We know he's getting fouled off 261, 267, 262. He figures that's good enough to keep pounding the zone. 82% zone, 32% chase he's getting, but no whiff. So I don't know where the step forward is for Kirby. I don't think he has the pitches to raise his whiff, and his walks can't go down anywhere. Would he just start throwing the split more? It's an interesting pitcher. I thought he's not throwing soft, he's throwing hard. He's getting strikes, he's keeping that whip tighty. So, but just, different approaches for these guys. Man, my battle is Yuri Perez, Bobby Miller. We've looked at them. Did I look at Grayson's stuff with you guys? I think we did. It's worth looking at. Who starts to get interesting? There's Regans, 108. Munoz, filthy. Phillips from last year, very good. Hellesley, like both these guys as ones. Tanner Scott. The stuff is there. Stuff is there. Do we have time? Can we pop out and look at Scott here? Tanner Scott. AJ Puck is there. Got a lot of other options. Oh, Puck's being stretched out as to a starter. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. We'll go there next. People are like, oh, we're not sure what's going to happen. Stop predicting health outcomes. They're all could possibly get injured. If it's a pitcher, they're going to probably get injured. You have to be deep. You have to have extra pitchers. Be prepared for these guys to go out. He's leading slider, 173, 40% whip. This is Tanner Scott. The spin rate is 2,700. A hard slider, 89. He's throwing a hard slider. 29 years old, 6 feet tall, smaller frame. He's throwing a hard slider for 40% whiff. And if you don't like that, he's got the fastball at 31% whiff. He's locating, he's catching plate, he's missing, locating the four seamer. He stays off the middle, he's locating in. He's going to hold the job. 74, 35, 74% zone contact, 35% chase, 36% whiff. Classical ace stuff, suppressing all of it. Very hard to hit. Very hard. Very good slider. Tanner Scott, yep, feeling good. Feeling good. Look at these guys' stuff. Clay Holmes has good stuff. Hunter Green, 141. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to look at Hunter because I'm getting higher and higher. Higher and higher as the preseason goes by. The more here. Hunter Green, yeah, walks, yeah. There's gonna be some walks of wildness, but he's trying to harness some outrageous stuff. 6'5", 24 years old, very athletic, multi-sport athlete, four seamer, middle, up, borderline, in, slide piece for strikes, down, getting it down, change up everywhere. All wild, crazy, sloppy change up, but keeping it out of the middle. Trying to add a pitch. Sitting 98.3 on a 25% whiff, and the batting average 265. So he's going to continue to sit there. He was 98.9 last season. 40% whiff on the slider. Yes. And the change is there. Got hit. 300, 24% whiff. This is a guy adding pitches, 77% zone, 29.4 chase, 30.6 whiff. I mean, he's zero point 0.6 away from me just saying he's already an ace last season without stuff. Huge velo, walks are not great, controlled a little bit of damage on the X slug. This guy's gonna get better. When he gets better, it's just gonna be more scary. It could be really dominant. That's the issue. That's the upside. So when Kirby gets better and gets a little bit more with maybe with one pitch, I mean, maybe he's not the best example, but Rodon at 150, if he's right, yes, absolutely. There's the Beebs looking for his velo. Gavin Williams, 179. So people know. Hey, here's Hunter Brown. Let's go to another Hunter. Because I think I saw Hunter Brown and I was like, oh no, not Hunter Brown. Because these prospects, they'll get hype and there's only feel. Everyone's only talking about feel, but what do they really have? Four seamers up and down. You know, it reminds me of Glass now. His profile a little bit. Knuckle curve for strikes and down. Slider. Okay. Throws a lot of stuff. Splitty. Sweep sink. Okay. 95.7 on the fastball. Down a tick from 96.6 to 95.7. That didn't help him. 271 batting average. Yeah, he came down to earth. He gave up 11 bombs. 22% whiff and not that much spin. And the other pitches, the curveball 24. There's nothing crazy here. That's not a crazy spin rate. 30% whiff on a curveball, and your slide piece isn't good. Your splitty was good. You're gonna have to get more. So the split finger mafia is gonna have to keep growing for him. 85% zone contact, 27% chase, 24% whiff. He has so much work to do. Hunter Brown has so much work to do to get even close to any of this. So yeah, I'm not doing Hunter Brown at all. At all. Stay away from that. Bryce Miller. Gavin Williams, Hunter Brown, where these guys are tight. Get Gavin. Stay away from Hunter. This Bryce Miller, he was controversial. We're making this a working meeting. I'm getting my work in at this point. So just mixing it in. Bryce Miller, 25. He came up, he threw some gems. He's got the mix. He's middle a lot. He's got to get out of that middle. 95 on the Chet. 27% whiff is good. All right, he's got some work to do. The off speed, nothing getting huge whiffs. Was the plate disc, 80 zone contact chase whiff. Okay, nothing special. What did he have at 90-minute? Fastball spin. Oh, what has he got? I overlooked that spin for a second when I wasn't impressed. It's really cocking that fastball in the 25% spin rate. 2,400 on the slider for 200. All right, let's talk about Ufer then. You know, I guess a 27% whiff rate for a 256 batting average and a slide piece at 202. It's that the sweeper isn't his pitch and the sinker's not going to be his pitch. And the change was only going to lefties. So he needs something else for righties that's effective. But he's got a very good slider. I mean, a very good fastball to sit behind. And then a slider. So, like, Bryce Miller has upside. Absolutely. And just a traditional build. I would like that arsenal. And it just starts to get a little deep. You know, I looked at Braxton Garrett. They talked about the injury. He's soft tossing. Shane Baz. I just remember Baz having some big stuff. So there's a little bit of talk, you know, what are they going to do with Shane Baz? What are the innings? Yeah, I'm not letting Yuri Perez's innings limits scare me whatsoever. I'll take 150, whatever he's gonna do. But here's Baz, Shane Baz, 96%, 96 miles an hour on the Cheddar, 289 batting average. It's not great. 16% whiff is not good. So the fastball is not going great, but the slider, 200 for a 43% whiff. The curveball has whiff, but gets hit, 357. This is a very small sample size stuff. And the change was there. 79, 25, 30 whiff, but big spins in velo. What were the spins here? 24 spin, 2,500, 2,700. So Shane Baz is he's breaking off some cheddar. He's breaking off some spin rates. So it's just something when you're super deep and you're just, 214, just thinking about stuff. You see Kikuchi pitched a lot better at the end of last season than where he's going there. Nestor Cortez. Cortez is someone I was on. Someone mentioned him and I liked him last season. Yeah, not a Z. S. Let me just refresh myself on the 29-year-old stuff here. In the pitch track and picking up a little. Here we go. Four seamer, cutter, sweeper. Got the mix. Oh, soft tossing me though. 91, 24. I can't do that. I can't get on here with Nestor Cortez sweeper changeup. So one of the places, if you just to make sure you're seeing the guys here pitching, pitch Arsenals. Oh, I guess the right one. Average speed. So here's just the chat. We can just close out here to be the last little thing. So you're seeing the real fastball. And we're trying to guess velocity for next season. So when you see a Bobby Miller, going in the 80s and you're trying to have somebody, Bobby Miller could be very hard to hit going at that spot. I think let me just pop them open here. Let's pop them. Chapman, Class A, still throwing hard. Hunter Green, Matt Brash, I'll have to look at that. Alcantara's injured. Yuri, 97.5. I mean, look at some of these guys. There's Grayson, 97.4, Strider. So you got to really have a pretty high. I mean, how much you like Spencer stuff, you got to like Grayson and Yuri stuff for how hard they're throwing. Shohei's throwing hard. There's my boy Tanner Scott. There's Jesus. So Regans in 96. So really look at this high-end glass now. Luis, 97.3. So think about where you are for Luis. And think about Regans. Look at your Luis Castillo. Look at your Regans. Right? Luis Ortiz. Gonna remember him, Edward Cabrera. Okay, Kirby. With walking nobody. Thins out a little bit here. Tariq. So Tariq's not up there with those guys. Logan, yeah, not up there. We talked about a lot of these guys today. Logan Gilbert. Let's look at Logan Gilbert. Can I get him up there? This is easier to open some of these guys and they'll be up. I should have been doing this from the beginning. Did I lose Logan? Yeah, he doesn't throw this hard. Show me Logan Gilbert. All right. Let's talk about them too. We got a couple guys out here we can just hopefully get right to. Bobby Miller, I think I showed this before, not 24. I just wanted to see. Spin rates are decent, big hard curveball spins. He has to get better, but he's just pitching so hard. 20, 79, 28, 26. Just big stuff. And it actually was formulating pretty well in the X slug, and the walks are manageable. That he has some control of that stuff is pretty scary. Yuri, who I mentioned, already an ace, because now that you've seen it a couple times, like think back, 77, 31, 33, right out of the gates for the 20-year-old throwing 97 with all this plus stuff. I mean, it's literally like Blake Snell before and better, Grayson, 24, 6'5". Because the more you see you guys, the happier you're going to get. The batting average is bad, Grayson, 33.42, but 24% whiff. The spin rates, the curve's got a good spin on it. The fastball, the slide piece, 34% whiff in the batting. So he's got a good slider. The changeup was good. Huge differential. 97.4 on the fastball, down to 83.9 on the change. I mean, that could spike. He could find a better balance here to start making guys guess and just be filthy. He needs more whiff. 26.3% whiff, but good extension jumping off the mound. So got hit a little bit. That fastball's getting hit. You can't live right there. He's got to be able to move that around a little bit. But Grayson's young. He'll figure it out. Let's Logan go. We'll take our time. 26, 6'6". We like the build. Four-seamer, slider, splitter, knuckle curve. and a couple sinks. 95.7 down from 96.1 to 95.7, half a tick. Fastball whiff down a little bit. Fastball got touched a little bit more. So there it goes. And this, oh, Logan Gilbert looks hurt. That's what Logan Gilbert was hurt. So he's either going to be, when I see spin rates just fall off the table by 200 RPMs, I mean, it's a guy who lost his stuff. That's not going to be his real stuff. He's down on his four seam spin, his slider spin, his splitter spin. It's not trying to take spin off of this stuff. So check on Logan Gilbert's health. He's going to be better if he gets his spin rates back because he made his slider and his splitter and his curve, everything started basically getting more whiffs. Keep up 14 home runs again on the four seamer. It's just getting seen. It's getting painted. It's getting taxed. He has to stop giving up those fastball bombs. 81% zone, chase 29, whiff 26. I mean, flashed at the end of last season. The trouble with this is I wish I could separate some of these plate disciplines. I can go over to Fangraphs and translate it, and I can slice and dice better over there. And maybe I'll do that to try to get some of these guys' early stats out. So, that's what I'm looking at for pitching ADP. We got the NFBC about to go off pretty soon here. I'm gonna save a little hitting review. How we're gonna, I can just flash it to you guys. So you guys get a little something else to look at. We're over here on the leaderboards, but let's do the percentile rankings on the hitters. Each one of these means something. XBI, I don't care, but let's look at X slug. Damage makers, damage causers. Yanier Diaz. Consider all these guys. These guys are doing damage. Jake Berger, Tatis, Berger, and Robert, all kind of close from a damage perspective. Sometimes this will sort guys next to each other and have you re-equivocate them to each other on what kind of damage. JD Martinez, wherever he signs, here's the approach. Look at it. He's free swinger and takes pitches, strikeout, swings and miss. Doesn't ever swing and miss and takes pitches. That's Ronald. Corey Seager doesn't hard to get out. Two-strike approach, doesn't take a ton of pitches. So you can look at their KB and kind of see what the tendencies are. Schwarber gets walks. Schwarber spits on stuff. He will strike out taking big hacks. I mean, these are narratives. Juan Soto spits on stuff and he won't strike out. But compared to Schwartz is going to hit more bombs. Soto's is good at bombs. So I'm coming up more on Soto all the time because he's so good. But just being, try to give him a pass on power. He's going to have a career year. There's Robert. Swings at everything. He doesn't walk. He strikes out, swings at stuff, but they let him because he's here and his XBA is 58. Compare these dudes. Here's Nolan Jones. Does take a walk, swings at everything. So he takes a walk. He gets guys to come back in the zone to him. And then he blasts some stuff with it. Big power, and the batting average doesn't fall out. So I think Nolan Jones, if he gets better, it could be a breakout. I really like him. Casas, there he is. He's taking walks. He's striking out less than Nolan Jones. Start to compare these guys a little bit on the slug, and you'll see the list. Do it again. Do barrels. Just do barrels, right? Bam, bam, bam. Pete Alonso. Something weird comes up. Look at these exit velocity dips. Pete Alonso has an average EV hole. Probably pop-ups in Pete's case or miss hits into the ground. A few of these guys have this. Big guys have this. Robert has a hole. An EV hole out of nowhere. Christian Walker has a very kind of a decent approach. He's safe, but he has some light hit. And that's where you'll see that new EV50 kind of patch some of that up. It's just little traits about these guys. Is it all EV? Well, it can't be because you're gonna suppress Pete, or you're gonna suppress, so EV can't be the right thing. You're not gonna see Robert. Was it hard hit? That kind of thing. It was let's check these guys. Speed. Speed, max EV. One of those guys. Who? Bobby, Trey, Corbin. Who can even hit? Who even has EV that's fast? Julio and Mike. Julio and Mike. Why is Mike going so late? Stop it with Mike. Stop it. Just stop it, guys. That's it. That's it. We're gonna do stop it. Stop it on Mike Trout's ADP right now. What, you don't think Mike Trout knows that he's injury prone? Do you don't think Mike Trout it doesn't say in the offseason, I want to play more games this year? He's 32. He's 32 years old. I mean, I'm having trouble getting, I'm trying to talk myself into it. There's Bryce. You're letting Bryce do it at 31. Oh, Bryce is so much healthier than Mike Trout. I mean, he's just burned too many bridges. This is hate. You guys are throwing, it's Mike Trout shade. Where is he? Do I have everybody in? He can't be this deep. He can't be. Can't have missed him. I have to go to the outfield list because I can't look at everybody. Mike Trout, 60. Ah, man. It's just so, it's bad. Oh, because he doesn't run. I came up with a new thing about speed. Guys have to be so fast. Guys have to be so fast that they can run and not hurt themselves. I can't have you running flat out desperation like it's the World Series to try to get yourself a couple bases when you'll most likely hurt yourself. You have to be so fast that you casually take bases. You take bases whenever you want. All right, boys, that's the pitching update for today. Fantasy baseball analytics for 2024, TGFBI coming up February 26th. I'm hyped. Let me keep you guys updated. Let's get into some hitting, dissect some more late ADP.